Hello, I'm Bob Schrupp. I'm a physical therapist, and today I'm going to talk about shin splints. Shin splints is a garbage can term, which means that there are a number of diagnoses that fit within that diagnosis or description. So let's talk about a few things. We'll talk about the diagnoses in this video, and then in another video we'll go over some of the secrets to treating shin splints. So please look for those other videos. Right here I've drawn a diagram of a bone and a muscle and a tendon. If you don't know anatomy at all, muscles narrow up and become a tendon, and that's how they attach to a bone. With shin splints, you could have a lot of things that are involved. Generally we're talking about, of course, the lower part of the leg, and you're feeling pain along the shin, and that's why they call it shin splints. But it could involve muscle, which means there could be a tear in the muscle or just a strain in the muscle. It could involve the tendon. It could also involve where the tendon attaches to the bone, or it could involve the bone itself. What happens, what you may not realize is bone is a dynamic material. It is constantly either building up bone or reabsorbing bone. And if you overtrain or overwork the muscles, you can disrupt that process. So that's often, I think, what the cause of shin splints is right here, where the tendon attaches to the bone. You actually disrupt that process, and what happens is if the bone absorption is happening a lot more quicker than the bone laying down of the bone, you can actually get a fracture, and you can get a stress fracture on the bone. So this is why you're going to find out with a lot of our treatments, it does involve, you do have to have a component of rest within that treatment. The other less common problem that might fall under shin splints is compartment syndrome. The muscles that attach down to the lower bone here, the tibia, are actually kind of sheathed in this heavy fascia type material, and they form, a sheath all the way around the muscles. When you're running, those muscles actually expand and grow, and if there's not enough room in that compartment, you can actually get pain. And that's something that obviously would have to be diagnosed by your doctor. But that's a less common problem, but it also does exist. Okay, these are the two critical stretches that you need to know for shin splints, both for the prevention and also the treatment of shin splints. Now, along with the treatment, you're going to have to do rest, and we'll talk about that more on some of the other videos. But this stretch should be done for runners before you run and maybe after you run. And if you're in the midst of, you're currently having shin splints or having a problem with shin splints, you can do this stretch throughout the day, because you're really going to want to stretch the muscles out that it affects. So let's first start off. There's a number of ways of doing this, and I'll show you 3 different ways. One is you just find a chair or a wall, and you're going to lean against the wall. And this is the one where you see people, it looks like they're trying to push the wall over. Now I'm stretching the back leg here. Okay, you're going to stretch it 2 ways. One, you want the knee straight, and you're just going to lean forward. Okay, you should feel the stretch in the calf back here. Okay? Then, while you're doing this, after you've stretched it for a good 30 seconds or so, you also want to bend the knee. This is critical. This gets a specific muscle that is often involved in shin splints. So you bend the knee, and most people that I know that have shin splints, they really feel this stretch. They really can tell that it's a muscle that needs stretching. Okay? Brad, did you have something?
Yeah, you want to get back in that position?
Sure.
Okay, one thing I want to emphasize is when you're doing this, make sure your heel is touching the floor, because that's where you're going to get the stretch. When the knee is bent, you get the soleus muscle, which is deep in by the tibia bone. But either way, the heel should be as flat as you can get it, and you'll feel the difference when your knee is bent to when your knee is straight as far as where you feel the stretch.
Correct. You don't want the heel to pop up like this. You want it to stay on the ground. Another way of doing this would be to take a 2x4, be the same thing. You'd start, put the ball of your foot on the 2x4, and you'd lean forward with the leg straight, Then also you go ahead and, again, keeping the heel down, you want to bend the knee. I really feel that. That's really stretching away. Any other comments on that, Brad?
Yeah, I know what some of my patients, when I have them do this, they'll put the 2x4 too far forward, and then they're just stretching their toes up. So it's real critical that you get it up on the ball of your foot, and you'll feel this. So it feels good, and you're actually elevating the forefoot, so you get a better stretch.
And the ball of the foot is considered to be this part right here. This is the heel, this is the ball of the foot. All right, the third way to stretch it would be to actually find a set of stairs. And this is the way I actually do it every morning. And you actually, again, put the ball of the foot on the stairs, and you just let it hang. And again, I got the leg straight here. And then after a while, I go ahead and bend it. And I can actually do both of them at the same time when I do this. I usually do with the bent knee, just one leg at a time to really give it a good stretch. Again, these are two critical stretches. If I were to recommend, if there wasn't anything else I was going to recommend, I would recommend these two stretches for shin splints.